word me. I want to talk about gateway swears today.
Oh my gosh. I was so shocked that you said that. I had to check and see if it was recording.
I just thought, I knew I wanted to talk about this today, and I was like, what's the best way to segue into this? So I was like, I'm just going to say piss and see what she does. So for those of you who don't know, I grew up in a household that, first of all, did not allow cursing, and second of all, did not allow gateway cursing, which are words that could lead you to eventually curse. Now, I would say, Mom, according to you, the word that I just used that I won't say again because I know that you don't like it. The word that I just used is actually more of a full-blown curse in your mind than a gateway curse. Is that correct?
Yeah, probably.
But other ones like douchebag, crap, shut up.
Well, I thought the first one that you said there was really bad
Because why?
Because you guys told me it was. Okay, so here is the deal. When the kids were growing up, they weren't allowed to say anything that they didn't hear us say. So we really tried to lead by example. But it seems nowadays the roles are reversed. Because the kids keep telling me that I have to ask them before I decide to say a word that I haven't heard before or I don't know the meaning. So
here's the thing. In a lot of ways, we are trying to safeguard you, Mom, because you're sweet and you're precious, and so we don't want to just direct you to Urban Dictionary so that you can fact check your words before you use them, because you'll be scarred by it. However, when I was 16, I had a boy over for dinner, and we weren't dating, but I had a boy over for dinner, and it was right around the time that Tiger Woods.
I don't remember the word, but it was bad.
That Tiger Woods. I think it was around the time that a lot of his affairs were coming to light, I believe. So my mom, in front of this friend that I had over, loudly states that Tiger Woods is a douchebag. First of all, I was floored that the word came out of her mouth.
Well, I thought it didn't mean what it did. I thought it meant something else.
So my sweet mom says this, and it was also right around the time, saying douchebag I don't think was as mainstream as it is now, where it gets tossed around fairly easily now to call someone a douche. But at that time, it was just sort of gaining ground to call someone that. So we're all shocked.
My bad.
And my mom realizes that something is wrong. And she goes, "What? I heard it on the news." And we're like, "What news are you listening to that they would say something like that?" So I don't know if you're listening to the radio or what. At this point, and we can cut this, Mom, if you don't want this on the internet. At this point, she's like, "I don't know what this word means. I don't know what this is." So my dad leans across the table and whispers in her ear. And I think the kinder thing would have been to tell you that he would explain it to you later, because then you were so embarrassed. You were so mortified. You're like, I'm so sorry. I think you even talked about maybe phoning this guy's mom and letting him know that you'd said this at the dinner table. Oh, man.
Yeah, well, it was quite alarming for me. I'm not gonna lie. But that's also, I don't use curse words I'll say, oh, curses, or...
Even you saying gosh is something that you've said later on. That is never something you would have said when we were kids.
Yeah, because it was easily to be replaced. It was a gateway to say God.
Yeah, gateway to using the Lord's name in vain. So gosh was never used. And the result of that is, of course, that now I will, stub my toe or crack my elbow on something, and the things that come out of my mouth, first of all, are almost instantly humbling and embarrassing.
Wow.
I was running down the
Molly,
stairs.
Molly.
Yeah, I was running down the stairs too fast. This was a while ago, and I cracked my elbow on the banister. And the first thing out of my mouth was mother of pearl. And then I have to stop and sit there and think, I have never consciously made the decision to say those words. But it's almost like my brain is like, okay, you can't curse, so what can we say instead? Right? And it's just like, I've heard mother of pearl in movies, and I know that's not a swear, so that's just what's coming out of my mouth today.
So that would be darn. I don't think I really liked you guys saying darn.
You didn't like darn. You definitely did not like crap. Geez, we weren't allowed to say. Although I have to wonder, Mom, and maybe you can confirm this for me, but I also think some of it was just if we were using a word too much, you would tell us we weren't allowed to say it so that you didn't have to keep hearing that word.
No, to me it was never necessary to name call, and a lot of times those words ended up being used and then there was tears.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so...
I'm a little suspicious of that, Mom. I'm not going to lie to you. I have to think that at some point you're like, oh, I'm just so tired of them saying dang it. I'm just going to tell them they can't say it anymore.
No, I don't think I consciously ever thought that, but I think shut up was one word. I don't like people telling me to shut up, right? So I don't want the kids to say shut up. Mm-hmm. And I remember that one of my kids, and I've told this story before, but I don't have their permission to say their name, so I won't say their name.
It's not me, you guys, in case you're wondering.
But they thought that shut up was a swear word. But when they came home from, I think it was grade 1 or grade 2, they're like, Mom, did you know that shut up isn't really a swear word? And it's because the teacher, he would always tell on the kids for swearing when they were actually swearing.
Yeah, it'll really be tough for people to narrow down which one of your kids that was.
You can edit that out.
I'm going to edit just to me being like, an individual. We can always just text the unnamed random individual and get their permission before we post this. But we were never allowed to say shut up. I'm talking about the words that we were allowed to say for a little bit, and then we were not allowed to say after.
Well, I can't remember what words there were. Maybe
there
darn
were certain
was
ones,
one.
I think dang. I think darn we were never allowed to say, but I think we got away with dang for a little while. We were never allowed to say heck. I don't think we were allowed to say gosh. We were never allowed to say geez. Or no, we were allowed to say geez.
Geez Louise, I said all the time.
Oh, I still say geez Louise. Do you curse now, Mom? Ever?
Well, I usually say, curses.
That's not a curse, Mom.
I know, but...
I can't say this just because it doesn't really fit with my personality, but I'd love to be able to really hit the notes, like, phonetically of crap, damn it.
But the other word for that word?
What's the other word for damn it?
No, for the first word.
Crap? What's the other word for crap?
Well, that's word we get to.
The what? Oh.
I know, say.
See, in my brain, the softer word of the word you're thinking of is shoot. Oh, shoot.
Oh, okay, yeah, see, and I got myself into hot water over that one because I was looking after one of my favorite little guys, and he was little. I dropped a carton of milk while I was holding him. Mm-hmm. And as the carton was falling slow motion down to the floor, I was going, oh, shoot, oh, shoot, oh, shoot, oh, shoot. And then I can't remember if he ended up using a similar variation of that word.
Oh.
He was just learning to talk. And so it was a conversation that I had to have. Well, I wasn't saying that, like, this is what happened.
Oh, my goodness.
But what words do you, well, no, I don't want you to say them. I was going to say, what are some gateway words that you think that we didn't let you say that you think are not curse words?
Well, gateway ones or curse words?
Gateway ones. I don't think I want you to say curse.
Well, I mean, okay, so like we were allowed to, I'm pretty sure we were allowed to say shoot because that's something you would say all the time.
Yeah.
I don't really ever say shut up, I don't think. Unless I'm like joking around with someone, I might. A lot of things I will say for comedic effect if I think it's funny, but I am not the person that makes exclamatory phrases when I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if I'm going to select one of those words, it's usually because I'm like, I think it's going to be really funny. I think I'm going to get a laugh out of it.
And I think as parents, that was our goal. anyways, was that it wouldn't be the first thing that came out of your mouth. It would be something that was more thought out before it was just exploding out of you.
Yeah, I also find like if I'm in pain, like if I smack my elbow on something, for example, usually I'm not saying something right away because I immediately hold my breath, which is probably really bad for you.
Yeah.
But my first instinct is like I stub my toe and I hold my breath for a little while and then I slowly let the breath out and then I'll say something moronic like mother of pearl or geez Louise or I definitely think like dang or darn. Those seem pretty, tame, but also like I feel like it really depends on the perspective you look at it. So for example, like the word those are meant to replace is damn, right? And it hasn't really happened a lot in my lifetime, but certainly before me, that was a very serious thing to like damn someone. That means like you're going to hell, I'm damning you.
Yeah.
And so I think there are, especially the older generation, that carries a lot more weight than it would to us because from my perspective, that's never really been a thing that someone else could condemn you like that.
Right.
Versus like even I was talking to Grandpa the other day, and this is a little bit, but he was saying like terrific used to be like something was terrifying. That was terrific, like a terrific storm or like a terrific car accident, right? And now it's like Tony the Tiger, like it's terrific.
Yeah.
So I think too, some of the things now what we're seeing in terms of cursing or even gateway cursing is those have kind of lost a lot of that weight that they had. And so I think that's why you see the difference in language, like from generation to generation, right? And it also works the opposite way, right? There's stuff that you said as a kid and was socially acceptable to say as a kid that in this day and age we would never say.
Oh yeah, and I look back at some of the things that I said even as a teenager or late teens that like, what was I thinking? Why would I think that word was okay?
I'm sorry I started the episode with using that word that you really don't like. I'm joking. We're joking around and laughing, but one time when we lived under the same roof, I did make my mom cry by saying that word. I was just in a weird mood, and I was mixing it in with other words.
She said it a lot.
I would mix it in with other words, so I couldn't quite get in trouble, so I'd be like, I think I'm going to become a Episcopalian. And, like, just stupid stuff like that. Stupid teenagery stuff that was just like, and I remember you were like, get out, and you had tears in your eyes. Because I think I was standing in your room and you're like, you might be able to get away with saying those things, but you can't say them in my room, get out. And like, la la la. And I remember you had tears in your eyes and I'm like, oh, this is only funny for me. I've done something wrong here. So I have a long history with that word.
Oh, goodness. So let us know what some of your gateway curses.
Yeah, tell us your gateway curses. We are at Hey Mom, Hey Mack across all social medias. That's Mom with an O and Mac with a CK. And you can also write into us at heymomheymac@gmail.com. And I think that's it.
Bye, Mac.
Bye, Mom.